Hello and welcome. This is the first video of the design course for the Essential Path. In this video, we are going to use a pen and paper to put some of our thoughts, on paper, to think of what we want for the project management application. What kind of pages are we thinking of and what is our design going to look like? So grab yourself a pen and paper and let's get started. So first things first, let me explain to you what I have on my paper. I've gone through a colleague of mine, and the colleague is, quite aware of what I need to do to collect data. So I told him I want a project management, and I envision pages where you can create and manage your projects. You can add your tasks, but you also want a place to manage your tasks. You can create companies, and you can add a company to a project because the project might have been given to you by a company. A project is owned by a user, and that user in your application has specific roles. So after telling that story, he came up with a little bit of a sketch of my main objects of the application. A project has a name and an image, and a task is a name and a description and an image, and all these kind of things. So that's the data side of things, and we're gonna dive deeper into that later on. But first, we are thinking of the pages in our application. So when thinking of the pages in your application, you kind of just want to start with the beginning. So normally, you'll end up at a home page. And on your home page, you might have some buttons or some items to go to. So from your home page, you might dive into an overview of your projects, or you might dive into an overview of your tasks, or an overview of the companies. So the things that you want to think of is, what is that homepage going to look like, and how do people go from one place to the next place? So, and there we go. So this is the home page. And ideally, I'm not going to draw all these arrows, but ideally you would also like to go back from each page to your home page. So we're just going to draw out this user journey. We have projects, and from the project page, I would like you to be able to create a project, and I want to do that on a separate page. So create project. That's a place that you can go to from the projects page. But I also want you to be able to go to individual project detail pages. A detail page is, think of a profile page on a specific website that you use, or think of your favorite web shop. If you click on a single item, you open up a page that shows the details of that item or the details of your profile. In this case, I want a project detail page. So project detail. I think that's all right for now. And we can do the same with tasks and companies. I want to do a company create page. So create and details. And from here, we have an idea of what our page map is going to look like. I'm also thinking, do I want to create tasks on the task page, or do I want to leave the task creation on the project detail page? So we have a page where all the project information is stored. I want to create a task and immediately connect that to my project. This is a sketch. It's a simple start, so you can go anywhere you want. And from this, I'm going to say the project detail can then do a task create. And, this could also navigate us back to tasks. This is just a user flow. So what would we do if we want to, start sketching? Well, let's start with the first page. We have the home page. A page is usually a rectangular shape. So I'm also just going to draw a rectangular shape on my paper. And I'm just going to think of, what do I see online, and what are good ideas I can borrow to make my own pages. I very often see menu bars at the top of a page. So I'm also just gonna say, you know what, I am going to draw a little line at the top of my page, and I'm gonna call this my menu bar. I don't know what it's exactly gonna look like, but that's just how I imagine it to be. I've also seen websites with very big images underneath that menu bar. It's like a header image, it's called, or hero banners in some more technical terms. And I think that an image at the top of your page looks just super cool. Maybe some welcome text inside the image, but let's say I'm gonna draw, I want the image underneath my page. And then from there, I want people to be able to navigate to projects, tasks, and companies. And instead of giving them all separate segments, I'm gonna give them a little block in the middle of my page. So I'm thinking of a little block for projects, and a little block for tasks, and a little block for companies. I'm just gonna say projects, task, company, and then they can navigate. So I'm going to do some buttons down in these segments, and I might do a little image in here too, because that looks pretty. Maybe some text to say this is your task segment or your project segment. And well, this is already what I imagine my homepage to look like. Not too difficult, not too well technical or detailed, just a menu, an image, maybe some welcome text underneath or above that image. We'll figure that out. And some navigational options to navigate people to projects and tasks, to the company segment. So when you are sketching your page, you want to look at simple, not too detailed, I'm trying to say, not necessarily simple, but not too detailed page overviews. So browse the internet, see what you like, and keep it low effort, because you never know what you might run into when you're designing that page. You might feel like, ooh, this is an amazing thing that I want to build, and I didn't put that in my sketch. That's okay. We're just gonna do it anyway. So I'm going to do the projects page. So we have page 1, page 2, page 1, page 2. Please don't mind my drawing skills. They aren't great, but I know where I want to get, and that's the most important thing. So my second page, this project page, will also have a menu, because I would like to keep that menu throughout my application. I think that's an important thing, to have a little bit of unity throughout that application. So we have a menu, and I think that I also want to have an image header in here. But and maybe we don't. That depends on how we imagine that. Maybe some text that says welcome to projects. I'm just sketching all this stuff. And then the last thing is, well, not necessarily the last thing, how are we going to display all these projects on our projects page? So this is the home page, and this is the project overview. Because what is the main goal of our project overview? It is to show all the users the projects that we've got going on. And I kind of want to use the same tile system that we have over here. So I'm thinking of doing a little tile there, a little tile. And we're basically just going to repeat this. Imagine a little scroll bar, just like all your web shops that you have online or other applications. Just a bunch of projects lining up on your application that you've been working on, with your team, that people have been working on. And that application is just filling up because people love this application. So we have let's see, what do we want to display? We want a title of the project, and this just repeats throughout every card. Title, there we go. Well, and then the same stuff happens on the rest of the page. A little image. There we go. This is how I draw my images. Maybe you would like to draw them differently. That's okay. This is just a creative process. Just stuff for us to figure out. And of course, as I said, from here you might want to go to a create option. Well, maybe we can add a little button to the top of the page that says a little plus. You want to create a new project. Or what if you would like to navigate to the detail views of these projects? Let's say I have this project over here and I want to open that project up in a new page. Well, then we are just going to add a little button down there that says go to this project, and that button will be implemented everywhere. So this is my idea of page 1, and from this button you can go to page 2 and we sketch out our application step by step. So that's also what I would like to do after this. We now have an idea for the homepage. I have an idea for our project overview. So I'm going to dive into the design parts of Betty Blocks and design these 2 pages in the platform. See you there.